everyone, and welcome to Home Sweet Home. This channel is dedicated to filming our home renovation projects and giving you exclusive access to seeing how we did it and what we did as we renovate. We're going to be starting here in our 1970s kitchen, which hasn't been updated since this house was built back in 1979. We're going to be doing our island. We are going to be shiplapping it and painting it, and then we will show you what we are doing as we go along. Before we begin, I would like to talk about the materials that I used as well as the tools that were used for this so that you are prepared when you start yours. First, I used medium density fiberboard that was a 1/2 inch thick, and they came in 2 foot by 4 foot boards. I did this instead of using the shiplap, the tongue and groove that they sell, mostly because these were about $10 a piece, where the actual tongue and groove shiplap is about $75 for a package. So I was able to do this for about $30 instead of $75. So it was definitely a saver. Also used 3/4 inch brad nails to make sure that I didn't go all the way through the cabinets. I used painter's putties to cover the holes of the brad nail. 120 grit sandpaper to sand down on the actual cabinet to make sure that the paint and primer took. Paint, your color of choice. We chose a white that we are going to use for all of our cabinets. Primer, it definitely helps with going on the cabinets better if you use primer. That way you don't have to use about 3 to 4 coats of paint. Painting supplies, of course, brushes, rollers, all that good stuff, and 1/4 inch tile spacers. I provided a link for these below, as well as the fiberboard. These help space out the planks that you have so that you are getting that nice depth feeling of it. As for the tools that I used an orbital sander, and I'll show you when we get to that point of how and where I use that. I used a miter saw to cut down the fiberboard into the correct length on the island. I used a table saw to cut down the fiberboard into 6-inch strips. If you do not have a table saw, it might be good to go out and look for the specific length strips that you want. And I used a nail gun with an air compressor to tack the strips to the cabinets. Now to get into the project. As you can see here, I am painting the cabinet, but before I did this, I did not film myself doing this. I used the 120 grit sandpaper and the orbital sander on the cabinet just to do a quick rough over of the cabinet so that it will take the paint better. Also, I did not start here with a primer, which I recommend you do, because this took about 3 coats total for it to get to the shine and the color I wanted to, whereas it might have taken 1, maybe 2 coats with the primer. So I definitely recommend spending the extra $10 on that primer. After the painting is all done on the cabinet itself, it was now time to put the shiplap boards up. I had cut these boards previously down to 6 inches in width on my table saw and had them all ready, and then just had to measure them out on the actual cabinet itself to have it the right length. I also started with spacers on the floor to lift it up. We are going to be removing that flooring eventually, and I wanted it to be an easy kind of cutout from underneath these. After I got set up on the spacers, I tacked it in with the brad nails and put the spacers on for the next layer. Once all the boards are tacked on, I covered the holes left from the nails with the painter's putty, let that dry, and then I sanded down the painter's putty flat so I could put some paint on the shiplap that I put up, And the paint, I did not use a primer here because of the color and of the board that I have there already. One part I did not have in my materials list that is optional for you is I used a 1/2-inch rounded trim corner piece that was about $4 for 8 feet in length, and just cut it down and tacked it into the corners to give it a more polished look at the end. Thank you for watching this video on how to put shiplap up on kitchen cabinets, especially an island. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below in the comments section, and I will answer and respond to as many as I can. Again, thank you for watching this video. This is the first of many of our home renovation projects that we're going to be doing. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we look forward to getting more videos out for you.